So we've done the top 10 Wonder Kids, you guys loved it. We did the top 10 free agents, you also loved that one, but there was one kind of constant criticism. Jack, I'm in the national leagues in England, I don't have a budget, my team is poor. Have you got any good free agents that are going to strengthen my team for not a lot of money? Well, the good news is, I do today. Let's get into this. So before we kick off the countdown, just two quick little things. Firstly, the players in this list are free agents at the time of recording. If you're watching this video months after it's come out, maybe some of them have found clubs, maybe some of them are still available, maybe I've done an updated version of this video. And point number two is these players' attributes may be slightly different in your save game. For younger players and lesser known players, they have lots of blanks that the game automatically fills out, so save game to save game, they can always look a little bit different, but their overall ability will be the same. And by my opinions, and having weighed them all up, these are the best 10. So I do hope you find this useful. If this video hits 1,500 likes, I will have a shortlist video coming in about a week's time of the top 150 free agents for non-league clubs. So if you want even more players, drop a like on this video. It lets me know you're enjoying it. And of course, if you're not subscribed already, you're going to want to see that video. So make sure to hit that big red subscribe button. And well, with that all out the way, shall we get into the countdown? Number 10, coming in hot. So coming in at number 10, we've got Nicolas Penner, a former Sparta Prague and Juventus youngster who was released from the Italian club last season. And my word, a really, really good player, extremely athletic in this specific save game. You can see here, only 19 years old, has a hell of a lot of potential as well, but having failed to play any senior football, he's now desperately looking for an opportunity to join, you know, a pretty good non-league club. Unlike a lot of the players on this list, he does have slightly higher wage demands, but still comfortably under £2,000 a week. All in all though, great player who can play anywhere down the spine of a midfield, and worth noting that you probably could train him to play as a winger, particularly if you were to get an attribute distribution a little like this one. In at number 9, we've got George Dowling, a 21-year-old Englishman, formerly of Swindon Supermarine. Yes, I mean, not exactly one of the big clubs of English football, but previously a trainee at Bristol City, and he's got a little bit of quality about him. A very, very good player in his own right. A player to definitely have an eye out on. Very, very technically gifted, has good potential. Debatably one of the better players on this list in terms of current ability, however he does have rather large wage demands, at least initially in a save game. That said, I've seen him move to Vanarama National North and South players, and if you are at that kind of level and able to snap this guy up, he's going to be a real game changer. Coming in at number 8 on this list, we've got Sean Herry. I'm definitely saying that incorrectly. The Frenchman is a 19-year-old striker, and in fact the only striker on this list, because whilst there's a lot of pretty good strikers for non-league clubs, many of them have very, very exceptional wage demands, and Henry here is one such exception. You can see here he formerly played for Metz, he then played for Royal, Excelsior, Vuitton. I'm sorry to my Belgian viewers, forgive me. Look, he's good, he's quick, he's a really, really talented striker with a little bit of potential about him. Does have some of the larger wage demands, and if you're in the lower depths of non-league, you might not be able to sign him right away. It goes without saying that for all of these players, their wage demands will fluctuate quite a lot, and the longer they go without finding a club, the lower their demands will become. So keep an eye on him. If this guy comes available, snap him up. An extremely good striker and aged only 19. Next up in our countdown, we've got Collin Odutio. He is a Dutch winger who can play naturally on either wing. He is one of the few players in this list who pretty much always looks the same in terms of his attribute distribution. And my word, he is a really, really good non-league winger. You can see here he was formerly playing for Aston Villa. However, they released him at the end of his youth contract. And he is just an exceptional player for this level. Super well-rounded. He's not one of these wingers who can't defend and can't do anything, you know, other than run up and down the wing. A bit of versatility about him. Could even potentially play him as a striker and train him up in that position. And all in all, just a really good player with a little bit of potential to make use of. Holy set piece specialist, Batman. Dion McGeady is up next. He's in at number 6. He's an advanced playmaker for sure. An absolutely incredible player who does have a surprising amount of versatility. He's left-footed. He can naturally play centre attacking mid, although he's accomplished out on the right. You could equally train him to play out on the left wing if you so wished. He's a former Manchester United youngster, a player who didn't quite make it at the Red Devils, but I think if you look at him, you can kind of see why he might be on this list. A set-piece specialist with some great corners and free kick taking. His passing and vision and work rate and teamwork are superb as well. He's not going to do a great deal defensively, but if you're playing a 4-2-3-1 and you've got a centre attacking mid who's got a bit of a free role, Dion might well be the man for you. He won't come for the smallest wages, although I've seen his demands drop significantly, and it's for those reasons that he slots in at number 6 in this countdown. So we are now halfway through the countdown, and to kick off the top half of the table, we've got Iain Bielen, a Dutch centre mid, a super well-rounded player. If you're looking for that kind of mobile box-to-box man, this guy's probably going to be the one for you. You can see here he started out at Ajax before moving to Vitesse, got released after one season there, unfortunately. What it does mean is he's very, very young at the start of a save game. He has only just turned 18, and I'll tell you now, he's got a little bit of potential about him. He's worth keeping an eye on for sure, even if you can't get him right away. Really, really well-rounded physicals here, which is always great. And he doesn't really have a glaring weakness in his game. I suppose his determination could be a little bit better, but if you're a non-league club and you've not got a budget, beggars can't really be choosers. And best of all, he's willing to join Vanarama national North and South teams. So he's not a picky one, is Iain? And so yeah, deservedly gets the number 5 spot. Patrick Finger is the only German on this list, but what a German he is. An incredible little player with some real versatility, which I think is always super useful if you are managing in the non-leagues. You maybe don't have a full squad, you maybe have a few positions you're a little lacking in. What Patrick perhaps lacks in terms of current ability, he makes up for in his versatility, and perhaps most importantly, his potential. This man is a really, really good player. Was formerly playing for Frankfurt, available to join at the start of your save games. You can see looking at him, he's not got any super standout attributes, but just a relatively well-rounded player. As I said, the fact he can play a few positions is great. His demands are usually really, really low. And best of all, he, of all the players in this countdown, has some of the best potential. So at 19 years old, expect him to progress and expect him to be the kind of player who, as you navigate from the lower leagues, potentially slowly up the footballing pyramid, is going to be able to come along for the ride. And it's for that reason he's in at number 4. Kicking off our top 3 and sitting at the foot of the podium, we've got Jarvis Ejim. Now, you might have noticed with this list, the majority of these players are younger ones. To be honest, they match the quality of the older free agents that will willingly move to a non-league team. And additionally, if you're managing in the non-leagues, it's nice to have players who have a little bit of long-term potential that are going to be able to stick with you. And well, Jarvis Ejim is a man who can slot in right away and just do an incredible job at centre-back. 21 years old. You can see here, he has got around a little bit, never really found his feet. Started off at Brentford, more recently played in the Vanarama National League South for Chelmsford and Dulwich Hamlet, and well, he is now available. Can play left back as well as left centre back. Bonus, I suppose, of being a left-footed centre back is pretty nice. They can sometimes be a little hard to come by. Not too bad with the ball at his feet, either, with 10 passing and 9 vision. And to be honest, I do not think there is a better non-league centre back available on a free transfer at the start of FM21. In second place, and coming oh so close to clinching the number 1 spot in this top 10 countdown, is Kanan Flanagan, a former Crystal Palace youngster who just last April was winning the Premier League Under-20s Player of the Month. A very, very good player, and undeniably a player with a hell of a lot of quality. You can see here he moved to Crystal Palace from Southend for a number of years ago, never got given a shot in the senior team. He was released at the end of last season. He will turn 21 fairly soon into a save game, but I think it goes without saying, when you look at him, he's just a absolutely top quality centre mid. Now, unfortunately, his wage demands are not particularly small at the start of the save game. Probably the only reason he doesn't appear at the number 1 spot. But nevertheless, just super versatile. Can play a whole host of roles at centre mid. You could play him as a box-to-box midfielder, a Mazzala. Probably wouldn't play him as a ball-winning midfielder, although, I don't know, 11 tackling, 8 positioning, I feel like you can do a whole lot worse in the lower league, so maybe he is worth a shot there. But yes, a tremendous player, a player with a little bit of potential as well, and yeah, have him on your radar. If he comes available, snap him up. He can certainly guide you to glory. And finally, in at number 1, Jordan Cox, 21 years old, English winger out on the right-hand side. Could play on the left as well. He's great. He'll sign for Vanarama National North and South teams. His wage demands are in the region of £500 to £600 in some of the very early tests I've done. I'm certain you could get him for a little bit less than that. He can play a whole host of positions as well with a little bit of training. And he's just a super duper well-rounded player. Does not really have a glaring weakness in his game. And yeah, for a non-league club to be able to pick up a player like Jordan, it's just a really, really good opportunity. A free agent, keep an eye out for him. He's young, he's good, he's got the talent, he can guide you to glory, and it's for those reasons he gets the number 1 spot. Anyway guys, that does wrap up this video from me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got to the end, I hope you found this useful. As I said at the top, drop a like on the video. If we get to 1,500, we'll have a big shortlist of these kind of players coming your way for the full Football Manager 21 launch, which I'm sure will be really, really useful for many people. And yeah, that is all from me today. Thank you for watching. If you've got to the end, you're cool. You're probably one of 2 people, so give yourself a pat on the back right now. I appreciate you. I'll see you guys again soon. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.